Hi, good day, good week. I was going to say good morning, but it's not. Good afternoon on Monday. Welcome to another week of mindfulness meditation. Um, it's always good to talk a little bit about meditation at the beginning of a session. Two reasons for that. One is that you can learn a little bit more about various aspects of the practice, maybe blow away some myths. But also, it gives you a little bit of what I call shuffle time. So it gives you a little bit of time to really kind of get comfortable in your seat and make sure that you're kind of feeling ready to sit and meditate for a little while. So, yeah, I just always talk for about 10 minutes or so, and then we do a really nice mindful meditation together. So, I wanted to kind of break down the word mindful. Um, it's quite funny when you reverse it, and you can say full of mind. That makes it sound like um, your mind is really, really full, which it possibly is, and which is why you come to mindfulness. But it's really about being aware. Being mindful is really being full of awareness, full of the present moment. And it takes a lot of practice to hone your skills to be fully present. And you can't be mindful all the time. That is nigh on impossible unless you are sitting in a monastery, for years on end. Um, we have life's distractions, and um, as the distractions become more and more, we lose the ability to be mindful. So I think it's really important to stress um, how mindfulness is really becoming, um, hopefully, more mainstream now, certainly more acknowledged in the science realm, as we are recognizing that people need this more and more in our lives, to be mindful, to be aware, um, especially with the advent of AI. And for any of you that have seen the Social Dilemma movie, which you know came to be our social dilemma. I like the way that they changed the first word. They start off the film saying the social dilemma, and it becomes our social dilemma, because it's our dilemma. It's how we have allowed um, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all of those social media platforms to dictate how we live our lives, and we don't even know that we're doing it. It's a very subconscious um, programming that um, has taken over the way that we think and believe. There's nothing malicious about it. It's just that it's got a little bit out of hand, and the algorithms that are being used to work out what you see and read and tap into every day or every minute, however long you're on your phone or screens, um, to format your beliefs. And this algorithm is not it's not a person, so there's no animosity behind it. It's just that all the social media platforms don't know the difference between what's good and what's bad. So we can't actually now control the giant that is throwing out all these distractions. Not distractions, they're throwing out all these belief systems and tantalizing clickbaits, by knowing everything about you, the things that you watch, the things that you like, and sending you more of that. And then based on those algorithms, sending out other stuff that you might not have thought about, but is in line with your way of thinking, and therefore you start thinking about that thing subconsciously. So the big the big giant has got out of control, um, but the good thing is that we can control how we perceive things. We can control how we view things. We can control how much time we spend on social media. But more importantly, we can control how we react to it. And this is this whole idea about mindfulness where you step back from um, this curtain. You kind of step back from this. You think about your life as a theatrical show, and you step back from the curtain, and you can kind of see um, what's going on. When you step back out of yourself, you can get a really good view of why you might respond in a different way, why you might react in a certain way. Um, and this is what we try and cultivate through awareness. We try and cultivate that through mindfulness practice. We try and become more aware of how we are reacting. I guess that's my point. We're becoming more aware of how we are reacting by being more mindful, so that then we don't get consumed by the social media. It's not going to go away. So it's okay, how are we going to deal with that? And mindfulness is a great way to start, because when you are consumed and taken over by everything that's coming at you through social media, if you're consumed, you can't see the wood for the trees. Basically, you're kind of taken in there. When you step back, you can then be aware and go, that's clickbait, or, oh, very interesting that I'm getting all these things that I sent to me that I was just talking about with a friend 3 days ago. I must have clicked on a video about it once, and now I'm getting 10 times that in my feed. I don't need to open all of that. Or what am I going to use my social media for? Am I going to use it for checking out what everyone else is doing? Or am I going to use it to just post the odd thing? Am I going to use it for a limited time of the day? That's a nice way to kind of step back a little bit, give yourself a select amount of time to look at Facebook or Insta or Snapchat or Twitter or whatever it might be, Reddit, Pinterest. Stepping back, giving yourself just an allocated time and not being sucked into going over that time. My point is that you can be in control, despite this big giant being out of control, the social media giant that's just going on all the algorithms that have been fed into its machine. Remembering there's no person behind that, there's no animosity behind it, but it is out of control. So you can control how you view what this big giant spews out. That's really it. It's about being mindful, being present, noticing how you feel moment to moment, stopping to notice how your breath is every now and then, noticing how you react in what might be a subtle, stressful situation, like an argument with a member of your family because you've all been locked up in the same house for so long. But noticing how you responded or how you reacted. I say react or respond because I actually believe that mindfulness helps us to respond rather than react. I look at react as a very quick, knee-jerk reaction to something without really thinking about it first. Whereas I like to think of responding in a more thoughtful way. You've given a bit, even if it's just a second or a split second heartbeat moment to think about how you're going to answer something, you respond with that extra thought, which is better for you and the person that you're talking to as well. Um, and then the other thing is that I wanted to talk about was how we transition from a mindful practice to the outside world. So when you are in a meditation, and let's just see if this happens today, for example, with your meditation today, but when you're in a nice meditative state, let's say, and you feel really kind of good, and you're able to bring in, feelings of love and connection, and you feel great. When you then open your eyes, what happens then? It's kind of like, oh, I'm awake. I'm in the real world again. How do I kind of keep this calm sense of and feel good in this transitioning is the real world. It's a little bit like when you first open your eyes in the morning. It's like, oh, where am I? So how do you transition from that really nice mindful place into everyday life? Because then it just all seems really real again. So I guess I would say don't expect to stay in that zone. What mindfulness does is it teaches you the things I was talking about. It teaches you to notice how you respond, to check in with your breath, to check in with your body every now and then. It teaches you to do those things so that then when you're in a real life situation, some of that is kicked in. You're going to respond rather than react. You might not judge so much. And I think a really nice way to start that is if you say to yourself at the end of your meditation, I'm going to bring kindness in. I'm going to embody that when I open my eyes, so that then when you walk away from wherever it is that you've been sitting meditating, let's just say you're in the park and you get off your seat or if you're park bench and you go forward into wherever else you were going to lead the rest of your life, you pass people on the way and immediately just say to yourself, I'm going to be kind, because you are going to be challenged on that. You might pass somebody and judge them immediately without even thinking about it, because we're so programmed to judge all the time. So you just go, okay, I'm going to be kind. It doesn't matter who passes me. It doesn't matter what I hear. It doesn't matter whether I approve. My judgment isn't important. Who am I to judge? I'm going to be kind. They are doing their best. I am doing my best. We are all trying to do our best. So I think that's a really nice way to transition from this mindful state to bring it into your life. And just think kindness. I am going to be kind to everyone that passes me. And I'm going to see if I can maintain that. And you'll find that the more you use that, it's also a nice little focus that takes you out of your forward thinking and your backward thinking. It's a really nice focus to think, I'm going to be kind. This is okay. It's like a nice little challenge. Everyone that I see. And if you're not out when you're meditating and because it's been quite chilly actually, and you're indoors, think about it with yourself. If you don't meet other people in your house or people to practice on that kindness, think about it for you. There's so much negative self-talk. So you want to be kind to yourself. Be nice to who you are. Notice your self-talk, And if you find that you're getting negative self-talk, you just go into your breathing and slow that down. So these are just little ways of bringing a mindful practice, the practice that we're going to do now, into your everyday. I hope that helps. Okay, great. Let's get started. So it's now, yeah. So yeah, okay. If you just close your eyes, hopefully you've had enough shuffle time, but maybe not. You might not. So I want you to close your eyes just for a moment and just check in with your body and see if you need to move it again. See if you're going to be comfortable to sit here for a good 20 minutes. Just see how that sits in your body. Do I feel relaxed enough? So kind of get a little bit of shuffle time. And then, surprisingly or not, I want you to open your eyes and I want you just to pick something in your space. So it can be absolutely anything at all. It can be a cushion, it could be a book, it could be a pen, it could be some plants, it could be anything at all. It can be as inane as you like. Find one object, and I want you to really look at that object. I want you to look at the shape of it. Like, really look. Don't just kind of be passive. Really look at it and look at its shape and look at its color. Look at the texture. What is it made out of? If it's close to you, you can pick it up and feel it. If it's a little bit further away and you don't want to move, then just imagine how it feels, just looking at the texture of it, what it's made from. Notice its size, its weight. See if you can see anything else about it, anything at all. It might be nothing, but just really look at it. Look at every part of it. Just kind of take your eyes around its edges, around its shape, just scanning. Lose yourself in that object. And then I want you just to gently close your eyes. And just sit for a moment with your body. Notice your breath. Notice if it is shallow or deep, long, short. And again, the texture of your breath, whether it feels rough or smooth, if it feels staggered, if it feels silky. And just noticing if your belly inflates very slightly as you breathe in and retracts very gently as you breathe out. It might not be your belly, it might just be a very subtle movement in your rib cage as you breathe in and out. And then we're going to take some conscious breaths. And I'm going to guide you through this. And what we're going to do is just keep your eyes closed all the time. There's nothing to see. We're going to do 5 rounds of breathing in for 6, holding it for 4, and breathing out for 6. And I'm going to count you in. But what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to alternate between breathing out through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. So the first one we'll do, don't worry, I'm going to talk you through all of it, but the first one we're going to do, just breathe out through your nose. Unless you're bunged up and you have to breathe out through your mouth, that's absolutely fine. But if you can breathe through your nose, the first one we're going to breathe out through our nose. The second one, you'll be breathing out through your mouth, then your nose, then your mouth, and then finally your nose. So we're doing 5. And what I want you to notice is how the breath is different on the way out, comparing it to through the nose and through the mouth. Just a very simple observation, just one for you to notice for yourself. All right, so when I count to 3, I just want you to let go of all of your breath. Breathe everything out that you have. So breathing in, 2, 3, and let all that breath go. Push all of it out. Breathing in through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and out through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, and then breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and out through the mouth, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and out nose, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and pause, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold, 2, 3, 4, mouth, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and out through the nose, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let all of that go. No conscious breath, no effort, just sinking into yourself. Allowing yourself just to get really quiet behind your eyelids. And from here, we'll just take a little body scan. So just noticing for a moment how the breath is now that you've let go of the conscious breathing. Just allow yourself to feel that letting go moment. And then gently take your awareness to the heel of your right foot. You don't have to do anything. You just bring your awareness right there. Just feeling it from the inside, with no movement. And then the middle arch of your right foot, the right big toe, the second toe, the third toe, the fourth toe, and the little toe. And now take your awareness to the skin on the top of your foot, leading up to your ankle, your right ankle, just softening there. And then gently sweeping over to your left foot, taking your awareness to your left heel, the middle arch of your left foot, the left big toe, the second toe, the middle toe, the fourth toe, and the little toe. And then the skin on top of your foot, leading up to your left ankle, softening there. Just bring your awareness there. And then just scanning up both legs, just noticing the calf muscles, quite a heavy muscle, just bringing your attention there from the inside. And then the opposing shin bones and the skin tightly stretched over the shin bone, leading up to your knees, just softening through the knees, a very well used joint, just letting it relax, both knees at the same time. Gently tracing your mind's eye up both of your thighs, right up to your hips. Again, another very well used joint in your body. So just allowing yourself to, even if you don't physically soften there, just imagine that you are from the inside, softening there. And just noticing if the weight feels even on both sides, and you don't have to adjust anything. If you're comfortable, just stay exactly as you are. If you feel like you need to adjust, you can do that. No need if you're comfortable. Noticing the weight on both sitting bones. Most of your weight will be right here as gravity pulls you into the earth. And when you let go, you allow gravity to do that. Allow gravity to hold you, support you. Surrender to that. And then taking your mind's eye to your sacrum, that lovely flat piece of bone just before your spine starts. So imagine you're zipping up your back very slowly along each vertebra, all the way past your thoracic region, the chest area, right up to your neck, the back of your neck. You're zipping yourself all the way up there, and you might even find that that might make you want to kind of sit up straighter. If it does, great. If it doesn't, no problem at all. It's just an idea. And then imagine someone is just very gently Just guiding your shoulders away from your ears. Take your awareness to the back of the neck again, and then just trace your mind's eye over the back of your head, over the scalp there, right up to the crown of your head. And imagine somebody was just tapping that area, just so you get an idea of that feeling, that crown, that place on your head. You know where it is because you can feel it from the inside. And then just really falling down the front of the face with your awareness. So allowing everything just to drop, the eyebrows softening, the eyelids softening, the eyeballs themselves just sinking into the sockets a little bit deeper. Following that line down the jaw, relaxing the jawline, relaxing the chin. And maybe the tongue just sits in the lower palate as you rest your face. Continuing down the front, your collarbones relax. The only thing that's gently moving is the rib cage as you breathe in and out. It's a very subtle, subtle movement. And then just sliding around to your back and just being aware of your shoulder blades, just softening. If you're sitting up against a wall, just noticing whether or not they protrude into the wall or whether they just fold into the spine. Neither of those is correct or wrong or right. It's just awareness. All it is. And if your palms aren't facing up, I just invite you to place the backs of your palms on your lap and have your palms facing up to the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. And we're going to very gently bring our awareness to the right wrist, softening there. Seeing if we can keep our hands and our fingers still. As I mentioned, each one of your fingers one at a time in isolation. See if you can resist the temptation to move the finger that I mentioned. You might get the odd twitch, and that's absolutely normal. It's just your little neurons doing their thing. So don't worry about that. So we're just going to take our attention now to our right thumb. So try and bring your awareness there without moving the thumb. And then in the right index finger. The right middle finger. The fourth finger. And the little finger. And then bring your awareness to the palm of your hand. And just get a sense of the feeling there if your palm is slightly creased or if you've got a flat hand. That would depend on whether the fingers are slightly curled in or they're not. And you wouldn't know that unless you moved your fingers. So try not to move them, just get an idea. And also notice any little sensations in the palm of your hand. I'm going to do exactly the same on the left side. So gently move your awareness to the left side. And starting with your left thumb. the left index finger, the middle finger, the fourth finger, and the little finger, and then the palm of your hand. Just have a little subconscious awareness of both hands at the same time now. I'm just taking a moment here to really observe the sensations. So it's a little bit like when you started the meditation looking at the object. It's the same kind of focus with your hands. You're just noticing everything about this situation. If they feel numb, maybe a bit tingly, heavy, what size do they feel without moving them? The texture on the back of the hand against wherever they are resting. So really just sensing all the little nuances in your hands, all the nerves, little tiny muscles, the blood flow. Maybe you can feel the energy around your hands. Sometimes that can present itself um, with a feeling that there's a bit of weight in either the fingers or in the palms of your hands. So it can feel like you're holding a couple of light footballs, football in each hand. That kind of weight can feel like that sometimes. So just taking a moment here just to really feel it. And as you're doing that, very gently slide your awareness as if you were sweeping up the arms right up to your head, and then gently focus your attention on the back of your eyelids. Now, the chances are you'll still be feeling sensations in your hands. If you're not, please don't worry about it. Um, it's not somewhere you have to get to. It's just an awareness. When you take your attention to the back of your eyelids, just noticing what presents itself there, what color or shape you can see. And seeing how long you can keep that focus on the back of your eyelids. And there's a bit of acceptance that goes along with this, because the chances are when you start looking at what you can see at the back of your eyelids, if you really focus on it, the chances are that it will change. And the acceptance is letting it change and not getting annoyed that you couldn't hold it. Let the change happen and take the next shape or color that presents itself. The focus is that you are already there. You're already looking at the back of your eyelids. It doesn't matter What images change here? You're just keeping a nice constant awareness on what happens behind the eyelids. Try and keep your awareness there, but check in with how the breathing is now, but don't change it. I want it to be very subtle so that you're not really changing the focus so much. You're just diffusing the focus so that you still got a very slight subtlety in the hands. Focus behind the eyelids and a gentle focus on how the breath is going. Now you might find that you oscillate between those three focuses, or that you can just maintain a subtle split awareness between the three. Just allowing yourself this time. I think it's always nice to finish off with a positive word. So I want you still staying where you are with that nice three-pointed focus, subtle awareness, and just add a positive word to that. So if it's love or joy or happy or clear or grateful, kind, wise, healthy, whatever you want, bring that word and also just put a little I am in front of it. And see if you can fill up with the essence that that word brings you. I am joy. I am happy. I am clear. I am healthy. I am happy. Whatever it might be, allow that word into your body. Feel it, embrace it as you keep this subtle awareness. And I'm going to leave the meeting now so that you are able to stay as long as it's right for you, being unique. We are not the same. So we all have different times of sitting comfortably like this. So if you are happy where you are, stay as long as you feel good. You hold on to that feeling. And just know that when you do come out of it, do it very slowly, transition back, and think about being kind, not just to yourself, but to anyone that you meet, regardless of what you think or judge, and see how that goes.